One, here I go again. My, breaking my schedule to rush out another timely video that no one will ever watch. 2. Obligatory Law Meets Balik Tanaw reference. Balik Tanaw, Emir's BTIN. Ashamed that the Philippine Bill of Rights drops the word slavery that is in the original, the 13th Amendment of the United States Constitution. Great. Now I have to make a long video in the Filipino language explaining the history of that right, the gargantuan struggle that led to its adoption, how the process has remained unfinished, and how any progress is being undone. Recommending oversimplified or the 2012 Lincoln movie would never be enough. Because the American Civil War never ended. Kevin Wilmot, the director, said that in 2013, 10 years after C.S.A. was shown publicly during the time of Obama, and again in 2022. But that video, that dive into the rabbit hole from 1776 to today, would be a monumental undertaking that isn't worth it when all you're getting are flat lines. Dead as fuck. Welcome, I am Emir, and let's look back in hindsight. I yell, USA! 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 I yell that a lot on my one-hit wonders. The reasons should be obvious. It's meant to be a take that to Todd in the shadows for only considering the Billboard charts in choosing who to cover in the one-hit wonderland retrospectives. Not looking at performers that, yes, although American, never appeared on the Hot 100. That USA, USA, USA yell is meant to be a take that for the definition of the term one-hit wonder being American-centric. If it isn't obvious, I'm not American. But the United States of America, not just America, those refer to two continents. Again, USA centrism. The USA looms large in the history of my country, going way back into the age of Manifest Destiny and the White Man's Burden by the author of the Bare Necessities. Yes, you heard that right. Filipinos were not the first, air quotes, savages in the American eye. But slavery, cotton gin, Missouri Compromise, the Confederacy, the American Civil War, I would have never learned that from my country's educational system. So when I found on Encarta when I was in grade 4, the 4th grade, that the great USA, USA, USA was split up, was a divided nation, that blew my mind. And then, well, finally, we're talking about the point of this video. Watching C.S.A., the Confederate States of America, for the first time, again, blew my mind. It was my first encounter with alternate history. And spoilers, it was not the last. Yes, the mockumentary is not a realistic AU. Let me read my notes from way back when I was planning for Emir's BTIN Balik Tanaw / in Hindsight videos in Lockdown 2020. Alternate History as Social Commentary. C.S.A. Confederate States of America Review. Pretty sure I'm keeping that title. Not accurate alternate history, but an eye-opening commentary on the present. End note. The opening line implied that the movie was, firstly, intended as a satire. Viewers found that the movie wore its punchline quickly. That punchline, well, I don't care if the algorithm buries this video. I already said a curse word earlier, but here goes. That punchline is slavery. Slavery, slavery, slavery. Again, I was 10 when I first found about the American Civil War. I had a dumb brain at that time. I still do now. At that age, I kept playing on Encarta and singing the Bonnie Blue Flag and Dixie. Well, even Lincoln liked that one. Yet, at that age, the age of 10, I knew what the cause of the American Civil War was. Come on, it's even in the Constitution of the Confederate States of America. Hello, Captain Obvious. Well, not obvious for many Americans younger than 30 in 2011, who as aged 31 to 49 made up 31% of the voters in lockdown 2020, couldn't find 2022 election statistics yet. Not for them. They believe states' rights was the cause. States' rights? States' rights to do what? The point of divergence between the C.S.A. movie timeline and history, reality, is when Confederate diplomat Judah P. Benjamin convinced Britain and France that the Southern cause is about states' rights, not the preservation of slavery, but the freedom of private property. States' rights. That one side of the long-running debate of what really caused the Civil War is mentioned in the mockumentary only once. Compared to slavery, which is hammered in all throughout. Because that was the point. That still is the point. But that social commentary went over audiences' heads or was consciously dismissed. Maybe because they were tired of hearing it. Maybe because a black man was already president. They thought that the USA was spared from backsliding. Responses like these did not surprise me. You know what else didn't surprise me? The Capitol riot on January 6, 2021. The world was shocked that it happened in the bastion of modern democracy, that shining city on a hill. I wasn't. That was because of C.S.A. And guess what popped up at the Capitol on that day? The divisions that drove that riot, originating as far back as not just Lincoln's time, but from the very founding of the United States of America. Those divisions continue to this day. I have colleagues studying in the US right now who I bet are only now realizing just how divided the country is. I will not be shocked if they still see it as that shining city on the hill. The day after the Capitol riot, actually the day of the Capitol riot, time zone differences. I rewatched C.S.A. I watched it again last week for this review. And it still blew my mind. It still had surprises. The speeches of the C.S.A.'s John F. Kennedy were not dubbed over. The historical JFK said them. That's an indication that the Civil War did not end in 1865, nor did it end in the 1960s. Because, well, I explained this better in my Bill of Rights is Not Enough video. Go watch that if you want to learn more. What I want to add today is this. Democracy and freedom were hard fought for. They will have to be sustained by struggle. The struggle for accountability, responsibility, for the reckoning that does not always come. At the same time, we must be accountable. We must take responsibility for our mistakes, admit when we are wrong, swallow our pride, and apologize. That does not mean giving up our dignity. Truth demands justice. It does not demand revenge. Surrendering does not mean giving ourselves away. It's not about us versus them. It's about all of us. We the people. Let's end on a lighter note. A suggestion for Alternate History Hub. What if the USA reckoned with its past, just like the Germans did after World War II? And just how long would it take before there would be a pushback against that reckoning? Or what if Japan reckoned with its World War II history? Or what if my country, the Philippines, reckoned with... I'll stop now. What did you think of this video? Comment on its YT or Odyssey page. Please like and share this video across social media. Subscribe and ring the bell. Watch other Emir's BTIN Balik Tanaw / in Hindsight videos. Support the show on Patreon, on PayPal, or on Brave Rewards on Brave Browser. Thank you to my sibling G-G Arts for my avatar. Check out and support her work by clicking the links in the description. Lastly, join me on Odyssey. Invite link is on the description. Not gonna lie, that Cops spoof, Runaway, that theme is lit. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and take care.